Brighten up those dark mornings. Wheeler, Ollie, and Lekter. Mornings at the Cabin.
A disturbing trend is emerging on our Mornings at the Cabin. Mr. Jesse Wheeler having some issues with the voice still.
The lineup, the full lineup, the original lineup, lasted one day.
We probably could have predicted that. Maybe not necessarily for these reasons, but Jesse has been having some issues with his voice. Late last week, I filled in for him a couple times on the morning show, which I'm always happy to do so. Love hosting on Mornings at the Cabin. Love waking up with our cabin faithful, our cabineers.
And me.
And you.
And me. Hey!
You're still new again.
Oh, fun.
But you're looking like $1 million. What is going on with you? You came in yesterday, first day back, like second day back in the country. Just, like Jesse pointed out, it would have been a 3-piece suit if you were wearing the jacket. Again, if you had the vest this time, would have been a 3-piece suit. But looking great.
So, we'll get into this. But the essence is it's a midlife crisis.
Ah. Okay. Okay, well, we can get into it later. Like
it's a good-looking one. It's a good-looking midlife crisis.
It's a very good... Well, I mean, most midlife crises are.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Expensive cars.
Yeah. Oddly enough, what the word crisis would imply falling off a cliff of some kind and thus disaster. But disaster never looked so good.
No, exactly. But you can't see inside my mind.
That's true. Oh.
And on that happy note...
Well, all I can say is that as good as you look right now, it doesn't really fit our branding.
No, it doesn't, does it?
Our bread and butter is hoodies, perhaps sweatpants in the future, toques, hats.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast.
7-Eleven, Lekter with you. Ollie's in there as well. He is scurrying around taking care of the news. It's only his second day back. So obviously, the guy has got some stuff to do. He is also, as we mentioned right off the top, looking like $1 million. It's tough to balance all of this. Oh, what happened? Oh, no. There we go. You just, and I don't even have your mic on. This is a disaster right off the top. You're turning my mic off somehow from over there.
I don't know how I did that.
You come back in here, Ollie, and you just got to be in control. Is that it?
Yep, I've just got to use the power of static from microphone 4 to control everything.
Mornings at the Cabin is brought to you today by NACC, presenting NACC, and happy to say that is sold out. So it's cool that they're sponsoring the show, but if you don't already have tickets, well, I got bad news for you. You can't get any now.
Mornings at the Cabin brought to you by something unattainable.
It sounds like a great show, though. Check it out at NACC.ca. The first ever circus at the NACC stage.
Oh, wow.
NACC is set to highlight the talents of Inuit artists at a national and international scale and foster a unique environment for cross-cultural collaboration to flourish within and beyond the project. Again, it is sold out.
You know what? I am now slightly bummed that I don't have a ticket for that. It sounds really good.
Well, tough luck.
Yeah.
For the third time.
The moral of this morning show is be quicker about getting your NACC tickets.
There you go.
Because there's some good stuff.
They got some good shows going on right now, so if you don't get on it ahead of time before you hear it talked about on Mornings at the Cabin, you may already be too late. That is happening, though, February 2nd, 7:30, in case you have tickets and you've forgotten when the showtime is. So there you go. Thank you to NACC for sponsoring today's show. As we mentioned off the top, Jesse is out for this morning. His throat's still giving him all kinds of issues. He said he was going to go see the doctor. I think he actually might have got an early appointment, and I don't know why. He sent me a message saying that he's going to give us a live feed to his doctor's appointment. I mean, that can make for entertaining radio sometimes. Like when you're getting your throat checked, I don't know. You can't really talk while it's happening. So
that is the most annoying thing about going to somewhere like that. The dentist, places like that, they're carrying on this wonderful conversation, and meanwhile they've got 2 different implements in your mouth. And you just look up at them with pleading eyes, trying to silently communicate. How are you expecting me to respond?
Well, especially given your visits to the dentist that always seem to end in some kind of great story or adventure of some kind.
Yeah, I tend not to have a dull experience at the dentist. But in fairness, last time it wasn't my fault. The dental hygienist got herself locked out of her own building on a weekend, and we had to put out a Facebook message to try and get someone to come and let her back in. Like I was just an innocent bystander.
Right.
Yeah, she no longer works there. Anyway.
And of course, encouraged, are you hot guy? Unless you're hot guy, that's the one.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a 2019 vintage Mornings at the Cabin.
Yes, Mornings at the Cabin folklore. All right. So we have, as I said, a live feed. I think I can tune in here.
Okay.
To Jesse getting his throat checked.
Throat looks a little red.
Oh, it must be the
better
doctor.
spray it.
Oh wow.
Oh, thanks, nice lady. My voice is crazy with this brain already. Oh, I feel so much better, Mr. Medical Science type person.
Okay, well, that sounds like Jesse.
He sounds right back to his old self.
So with any luck, he should be good to go tomorrow morning.
There was that nasal twang we know and love.
That's right. That's right. His signature nasal twang, you might say. So, as we mentioned off the top, you're looking like $1 million. You came in yesterday, again, second day in the country, looking like $1 million. What's going on?
Yeah, I just got bored of hoodies, and people don't seem to be taking this for an answer, but I don't know. Like you remember back when I started in Yellowknife, which was Moose FM, September 2014.
Mm-hmm.
I was almost literally fresh off the plane at that point. I'd flown in the night before from my last gig for the BBC.
Yes,
and had like the full national broadcaster wardrobe entail, sort of along with me.
Yeah.
And immediately just put on my usual work clothes and went into Moose FM the next day.
Yeah.
And I stuck that out for a solid 3 weeks.
You did.
Before I realized that I was just so incongruous.
I don't think we took bets as to how long it would last because we didn't know you. We didn't have any sort of gauge for it, but we're like, this isn't going to last. It's when did you arrive? Was it middle of winter or?
It was September.
September.
So
Okay.
it was still it was reasonably warm enough that you could get away with it.
There was a chance you might pull it off for a while. Okay.
Yeah. But then we switched to the whole hoodie thing. Yeah, and I left Moose FM in 2016 and basically since then haven't had a boss or a workplace other than my own one.
Right.
And so I've been able to get away with wearing whatever I feel like, which half the time was just a hoodie and sweatpants and whichever federal minister was coming in that morning would just have to deal with it. But yeah, I don't know. I went home and I was like, yeah, you know what? Kind of miss getting dressed up.
Yeah.
Kind of miss that extra layer of just getting up in the morning, putting all right, I'm going to work.
Were you in London proper during a lot of the workday?
Just recently, or you mean way back when?
While you were back home.
While I was back home, no.
Yeah.
So the family home is just outside London.
Right.
So I wasn't in London a lot. I was in Oxford a fair bit because it's the nearest sort of town of any size.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I did a little bit of clothes shopping there. Smartened up my wardrobe a little bit. Got a couple of new suits and some shirts and stuff like that. And now here we are.
Because I could definitely see if you were, in downtown London, while the hustle and bustle workday is happening and everyone is kind of looking, maybe not $1 million, but some people are stressed out. There's varying degrees of how those suits are sitting on people in the middle of the workday. But I could see, being in the middle of that and being like, yeah, you know what? I kind of miss this. I kind of miss looking a bit more proper for my workday. And not that there's anything wrong with how we present ourselves here in Yellowknife. It's more practical than professional, I would say. It varies from workplace to workplace, but here at the cabin, it's extremely practical.
Yeah, but I like that about Yellowknife, that pretty much whatever you want to wear is probably going to be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a few exceptions for specific work circumstances where you've got to wear certain stuff, if it's safety stuff or whatever, or if you've got to be in court, you've got to all that sort of stuff. But for a lot of jobs in Yellowknife, really, as long as it's reasonably smart casual, it hasn't got too many holes in it and it isn't just falling off your body, then you're probably going to be okay. But on the flip side of that, if you do decide to put in a bit of effort, everybody stops you and goes, oh, look at you. You're looking the number of people
like me.
Yeah, the number of people in this building yesterday when I would just walk down the corridor to the kitchen and just try and get a glass of water. Saying, look at you. Yeah, and it's sort
Mr.
of
No Boss is angling for a promotion.
Yeah, right?
Oh.
Yes. So it's nice to give the people of Yellowknife something to entertain themselves during the working day.
Yeah, fair enough.
If it is just me.
Yellowknife professional attire, I think, basically draws the line at butt flap on your suit. As long as you don't have a butt flap that can open, you're probably okay. We can get by.
I should have thought of that. That would have been a beautiful, that would have touched off this whole ensemble perfectly. The really nice jacket, lovely little three-piece suit, nice little tie here, little tie bar on the tie as well. Cufflinks are looking really good, watch and everything, and then a butt flap.
Yeah, trapdoor in the back.
Yeah, trapdoor, just Yellowknife formal attire.
Perhaps the next piece of Cabin Radio merch. We shall see.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast, where we cut out all the great music and you're left with the rest.
Brought to you today by NACC, putting on Una Cactuat, February 2nd, 7:30 p.m. The show was sold out, so if you don't have tickets, just forget about it. Don't even think about it. But it is a very cool show, the very first circus that has come to NACC, and I very much encourage you to read up more on that, because I assume if this show was sold out so quickly, we'll probably be working to bring it back in the future. Obviously, a very, very popular show. So NACCNT.ca for more info on that. Sarah Price joins us this morning as well. How you doing, Sarah?
I'm pretty good.
It's been a while since we've heard your voice on Mornings at the Cabin.
As I probably 5 or 6 weeks. I don't think I've been on since before Christmas.
No, you've been nose to the grindstone. Just no time for our nonsense here on Mornings at the Cabin.
No time.
So I thought in lieu of that, Ollie, you were obviously away for an extended period of time. Sarah, you haven't been on the show. You both might have missed last week, and we don't do this very often, but last week, on a very special Mornings at the Cabin, we had Dean from NACC in, because, of course, this past weekend was the NACC Children's Festival of Silliness, the annual Festival of Silliness, where, there's just so much silliness. So much silliness for the kids, and NACC sponsored, I think it was Tuesday morning's show. So we had Dean on to come in and talk a little bit about the silliness. Before we got to that, though, I just want to play you a clip from earlier in the show because, I felt like, so Jesse, of course, was doing his thing as the host. He was reading out the sponsor liner, but I thought, this is the festival of silliness. This isn't the festival of professionalism. You got to get a little silly. So here's last week on Mornings at the Cabin. Is that all you're given for the silliness?
Well, that's all supposed.
Jesse, there is
the sponsor liner.
There's the hungry feast.
Go to NACC.ca for ticket info.
I think we're underestimating the silliness.
Okay, fine. Yeah. Last weekend at the NACC, the Children's Festival of Silliness. Go to NACC.ca for more ticket info.
Tired of you underselling the silliness.
I can only do that because my voice is completely thrashed.
So that should give you a pretty good idea as to why Jesse is not on the show this morning. He blew out the tanks early last week.
Amazing.
Reading a silly liner, and if I scroll a bit further here, I'll give you...
Take your kids, put them at NACC.
Mine in.
Get rid of your kid.
Where are we here?
And the Children's Festival.
Have you heard my voice?
Can we just give it a shot?
There we go. My voice is thrashed too. What the hell?
Here's AJ's silly voice.
Go for it.
Give me something to say. Give me a
right here.
Pardon me. Talk about the Children's Festival of Silliness.
Can you see that?
Okay.
With 2 fantastic shows and fun activities in between, NACC becomes a place where a kid can be a kid.
He sounds like the guy that says, I'm not convinced. I've had bad luck with aphrodisiacs.
It's like the voice of a wacky inflatable tube man.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's a wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man. Wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man.
If you should wake before you die.
No, I messed that up completely.
You should die before you wake. That's what I sounded like. I sounded like Bart's bed on The Simpsons.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
That was very good. All right, so here comes my silly voice coming up here.
In between both shows, 2 and 4 p.m., kids can take part in all the fun activities.
Oh, my God.
Like jumping around in a bouncy castle, get their faces painted, goof around with clowns, play cool games, make a book, eat fun snacks, and plenty more.
Make a bug eat fun snacks?
Yeah, make a bug.
Yeah. What?
No, make a book. So, that was all for context.
Okay, so we're back in the real world now. That was
back in the real world.
Yep.
That was last week, yes. And the silliness was out of control.
It clearly.
As you can see. We were all very excited about the Children's Festival of Silliness and highly anticipating Dean's appearance on the show to talk more about it. So, like I said, the stakes were high. We were feeling very, very silly. And then Dean came in to talk about the show. And let's listen back.
There will be a bookmaking workshop.
Very nice.
And fun snacks, popcorn.
Sweet. Popcorn is a fun snack.
As you can see, he dialed down the silliness a little bit.
Yeah. When you put it all
together, we thought,
pretty creative.
No, this won't do, Dean.
Hey, Dean, could you give us your silliest voice?
I knew this was
My
coming.
silliest voice.
Yeah.
Give us a Children's Festival of Silliness.
Yeah, give us a
2020.
read of this this second show in your best silly voice.
My best silly voice.
Best
Okay.
silly voice.
There we go.
Silly as you can go.
Oh, man.
See, it's harder than you think.
It is. It's a mental thing. You just got to get through it.
Just got to get past it.
All right,
Isabel
here we go.
Leash, a.k.a. Isabella Wonderful. Isabel has many tricks up her sleeves. Magician, clown,
Yep.
balloon artist,
Yes.
face painter, stand-up comedian. She does it all. She's making some people laugh with her funny jokes while impressing others with her magic tricks and her wonderful balloon creations for over 20 years. With the ability to perform both in English and French, her comico magic shows are a real crowd pleaser, especially when she switches from one to the other in the same sentence. Shows are 30 to 60 minutes, very interactive, fun, and memorable. Kids love to participate, and the lucky ones get to be the assistant during the show.
I think he's
are
almost
filled
done.
with joy.
I'm going to stop you right there.
You missed our silly voices.
Not silly. Not silly at all. You started with a little something, and then you gave up within 4 words.
we went to a different
real
level.
silly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was Dean with a smile
Okay.
on his face.
That's right. That was, Dean, that's right. Dean's with a smile. It sounded nice. It sounded really nice.
So there you go. That was last week on Mornings at the Cabin.
Wow.
Advertising the Children's Festival of Silliness. Dean giving us his best silly voice. Not silly.
I worry greatly. I would hate to be in a room if Dean were in a serious and somewhat vengeful mood as to what that would sound like.
Then it might get really silly.
Or it sound no different.
Or it sound no different. So obviously the Festival of Silliness was this past Saturday. This Saturday, February 2nd, is NACC to what? And once again, today's show, sponsored by NACC. And if you don't already have tickets, just give up.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast was recorded before a sort of live, thankfully not in the studio, audience.
Mornings at the Cabin. Lekter, Sarah, Ollie with you, 8:02 a.m. on your Tuesday morning. Happy Tuesday to everybody. Today's show sponsored by NACC to what? Being presented by the NACC. If you don't have your tickets, tough luck. It's sold out. Very popular show. So better luck next time. We get weird emails from time to time here at Cabin Radio. Sometimes they think that we're something that we're not. Sometimes we get, which has become the standard of junk email that we get, is just like one of those SEO emails. They're like, hey, your website's like there, but is it really there? It could be more there. We could make that happen. We generally ignore those ones. The ones where they inquire, and I don't know if you heard last week, but someone inquired about our swimming lessons.
Of course they did. So we add this to Indian restaurant.
Yes.
And various other things that people have thought we were in the past. Okay,
Yeah.
so now are we a swimming pool or just a swimming instructor?
I think, yes, swimming instructor, yeah.
They wanted help learning how to swim.
Yeah.
Well, they've come to the wrong place because I'm terrible.
So, yeah, we added that to the ever-building list of outside services that Cabin Radio may or may not offer in the future. We're not there yet, but, you know, Jesse likes to push Taco Tuesday. No one ever takes us up on it. Got those curry tacos still sitting there from months and months ago. We're not an Indian restaurant. We don't offer swimming lessons. And this morning, I was particularly intrigued. We were talking about some of these junk emails we get. You usually just delete them without a second look. Sarah, are you the same way? Just you see the title, you're like, nah, just delete.
I occasionally open them. Like the swimming one, I was interested.
It's hard not to be, because that one seemed legit.
But, yeah, no, I was about to delete these ones that we're about to talk about right now. But I'm glad you got us to open them because they are something.
I have a little more patience for nonsense and, of course, silliness, as we explored in the last break, than the two of you. So I opened it this morning. It was an email from a gentleman named Peter Maloney, which I just became aware of when we were talking about it a few minutes ago. His email address is particularly interesting. It is oliverwilliam7896@gmail.com.
Which suspiciously sounds as though someone might have just scraped some information from the website and then used it to auto-generate Gmail addresses.
It
But,
does
you know,
sound that way, doesn't it?
It sounds like a spam email.
Yet they are sending an email to one of the owners of Cabin Radio from a ghost email address of your own. The confusion is just compounding with this particular message. Anyway, it starts out, hello, Cabinradio.ca owner.
I love the personal touch, yep.
I mean, I would have gone with a hello friend, you know, little
Hey,
light.
bud.
Yeah, hey, bud. going on, bud? Hello, Cabinradio.ca owner. The first line, just amazing. You can't think, even if your website helps you to raise your revenue with some various errors. That's the end of the sentence.
Okay.
Many business holders get perplexed as their website isn't accomplishing well while others are thriving. That's unsuccessful, but not your affluence. What does that mean?
This has been run through Google Translate probably a couple of times. It's almost as though it's been written in English the first time, then like sent into Finnish, and then brought back out again at the other side.
Yeah.
So like the words are there, the meaning is sort of there, but the flow is a little less than.
It's a dog's breakfast
It
of
is.
an email. To be nice about it.
So far, I've got a lot of faith in this person to turn around our website's fortunes. Okay, tell me more.
Peter continues. Now, I will show you some, in all caps, technical errors in your cabinradio.ca. Not in your website, in your cabinradio.ca. Yeah. If this is something you are concerned with, please let me know. And he did leave a number. I'm a little curious. I kind of want to give him a call.
So I'm not going to stop you. The last time you did this, you were phoning some old woman in Kingston, Jamaica.
Yeah.
And I couldn't
and we made a friend.
I couldn't handle it. It was too much for me. That's the kind of skin shriveling experience that I just need to be far away from. So I am very happy to leave Studio One if you would like to call this phone number, which, let's face it, is guaranteed not to be somebody called Peter Maloney, and see who you get. Have we even Googled it yet? What's the number? It's your own fault that we're reading this out on the air because you sent us a spam email.
We'll bleep all that out in the podcast.
Yeah,
Don't
exactly.
worry,
It's been and gone now if you left. So,
I feel like we're in a reply all episode right now.
So it's where's this Poolsville? What's MD?
MD
Maryland.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't have got that
Poolsville, Maryland. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say this is not a real person.
No.
I'd be amazed if it's Peter Maloney. Also, if you're in Maryland, what are you doing on the Cabin Radio website? We got nothing for you.
It's very disappointing.
Well, you feel free. You could go ahead and call that number.
Okay.
Is this has this got an address and a name?
Oh, jeez. Well, we don't want to read that.
Well, no.
That's too much.
Don't worry. I'm not going to toss anybody under that bus. But there is a website here that seems to suggest that we can figure out who that was.
You just click on white pages or yellow pages or whatever.
Yeah, whatever. But yeah, no, you feel free. I look forward to how that phone call goes.
I'll give it some thought. I'm mostly intrigued because just by how the email is worded, my brain automatically read it in a Borat voice. Hello, Cabinradio.ca owner. You can't think even if your website helps you to raise... Yeah, yada, yada, yada.
See, Dean, that's a silly voice.
He's listening. He's taking notes. And he'll be ready next time NACC sponsors a show, which they are today. Check out more info on Unakaktuat, happening February 2nd at NACC. Big thank you to NACC for sponsoring today's show.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast.
We got a message from a friend of the cabin, Bridget Rusk, saying, once you're done sprucing up your website from the Laurier spam emails, I can hook you up with Emma, who kindly has been trying to sell me plastic buckets from China.
Huh.
I got the impression these were free for some reason, so I asked her, are these free buckets? She says, no promises on the chemicals involved, but with buckets, just think of the possibilities. We could use a cabin bucket.
Yeah, maybe not from China right now.
Maybe not right now. Yeah, we have local buckets. We can go to...
Buy local.
Yeah, Canadian Tire buckets.
Yeah, buckets
sure.
and buckets.
Home Hardware has some buckets. Lots of buckets around.
I love mornings at the cabin, as we discussed, where in Yellow Life you might be able to purchase buckets. Anyone else?
Maybe even True Value Hardware.
True Value? Yeah,
I bet they got
buckets.
a good stock of buckets down there.
Those are the 3 hot spots.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
That taps us out.
Well, you've been listening to Mornings at the Cabin. Come back tomorrow.
I missed the first part of this conversation. I have no idea why we're talking about buckets. Right
Oh,
Not
Bridget.
Neither do we. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Bridget's
Just letting
trying
people
to
know
be,
where to get them if they need them.
Bridget's trying to be sold buckets from China. From Emma. She has a spam
All right.
emailer
You know
du
what?
jour.
You know what? Let's move on.
Okay. Burger Week ends today. Is that a transition or what?
Walmart's
Bucket Week ends today.
Oh, yeah, Walmart probably has buckets.
Can we have Bucket Week?
How did we forget about
Let's
Walmart?
do Bucket Week. Each day we'll do a video at a different place that sells buckets.
Today we have a 20-liter blue.
Oh, Burger Week.
Little bucket cheers. Yeah.
All right, enough, Ollie. We've had our fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jeez, let's move on, Ollie.
Come on now. Burger Week ends today. Presented by Cabin Radio, ran from January 22nd. Today, the final day, January 28th. You still, I assume, have all of today and tonight to eat your final burgers.
Better had, because
If you
I
got
have not
two.
had a burger yet. I only got back in on Sunday, and today is my day to find a burger.
Yeah, you have really missed out on this whole Burger Week thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's been...
You guys kept sending me the videos while I was 5,000 kilometers away, and you're doing the whole, like, this is lovely. Oh, it's such a tasty burger. Like, all right.
Yeah. Tough
All
to
right.
say if we were, like, taunting you from afar in a video.
Yeah.
But anyway, the burgers all were really good. That wasn't just fantastic acting. I mean, it was fantastic
both.
acting. But
I did enjoy that, of course, this being a promotion where we want to support everybody equally. You each had to make sure that your reaction to each burger was sufficient to make it clear that the burger was tasty, but not so enthusiastic to suggest that it was tastier than some of the other burgers.
I almost swallowed some of the juice. So if you haven't got your 3 burgers in yet, maybe get your last burger in today from one of those participating sponsors, which you can find at Cabinradio.ca. And of course, if you get your 3 burgers in on your passport, you send in your passport and you could possibly win round-trip flights for 2 on Canadian North between any 2 communities they fly to in the NWT or between NWT and Edmonton. Wide range of options. So big thank you to Canadian North for that. Other prizes include gift cards from the Woodyard Brewhouse and Eatery, Coyotes Bistro, basically all the participating sponsors, Traders Grill and Trapline Lounge, Copperhouse Eatery and Lounge, Gourmet Cup Beverage Station, number 7, Japan Bakery, The Monkey Tree, and Steak Restaurant. Again, 3 stamps, and you are in to possibly win one of those prizes. You just got to make sure, actually, you got a little extra time to get your passports in. January 30th is the cutoff. So if you got to, I don't know, take a few days to figure out.
You got to digest.
Yeah, that's right, to digest.
I can relate to that, actually.
Wake up from your burger coma. Yeah, they're giving you a little time. So January 30th, the absolute cutoff to get in your passports. It has been a very fun promotion and hugely successful. I don't know if you've heard word on the street type stuff, but we have been, we've been in pretty much all of the establishments that are taking part.
Yep.
We've had several that have, when we walked in, kind of had scared looks on their faces because the night before they had just been cleaned out of burgers and they were like, oh God, it's 11 a.m. It begins already? No. And then we show them the big orange Cabin Radio mic and they're like, oh, okay.
And then they get nervous that they have to be on camera.
That's right. Yeah. There's really no winning for them.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. You're like, no. All you have to do is describe the burger.
That's right.
Okay. I can do that. Perfect.
But huge success. Big thanks to Sonia Nadir for putting this on, and Canadian North, Sedetno signed, and AJ, you did a great job organizing all this for us to go and eat burgers for free.
You're giving me far too much credit for this, but yes, thank you.
Well, you've been chasing people down.
Yeah, I sent a few emails and replied to some.
Shockingly, people aren't always jumping at the chance to give away free burgers.
That's true.
But you've made it happen for us.
That's true. We always did have that awkward moment too. Like, do we need to pay for this, or do we just walk out, or?
Yeah, maybe ahead of the next Burger Week or the next Food Week. That's maybe something we
everyone
would figure out ahead of
What
time.
did you come up with?
Well,
as a solution?
we were always prepared to pay.
Okay.
But every time they were nice enough to give us a free burger.
Okay, you at least checked. Though.
And we did donate some money to the YK Food Bank because we felt bad because we were having free burgers the whole week.
This is good.
Yeah.
We would kind of do the lean over and like pretend to reach for your wallet, like, oh, that was such a good burger. I guess it's time to pay. Oh, what, free? Oh.
My wallet's just in my jacket in the car. I'll just go grab my wallet. Oh, we don't have to. Oh, that's so nice.
You guys
Thank
are the best. Yeah.
Especially when you're having 2 burgers a day, that adds up. Not only in the pounds, but in the financial situation.
I think we both polished off in the area of 9 burgers last week.
Yep. I mean, we were halving them.
Yeah.
Halving them.
Some of them. Well, it's some situations, thirding them.
Yeah.
Camera operator wanted in, by the sounds of it. Okay, yeah.
So we started with Emily shooting a few of the videos, and we'd be like, "Oh, would you like some?" No, I'm fine.
Yeah.
The
Sarah
first video started, "Hey, you better cut me one of those."
exactly what I sound like.
And at first, I think early in the week when we were doing the first couple videos, we were like, Emily, you want some? No? Okay, yeah, that's great. And then by the end of the week, I think we were starting to feel the effect of eating
take
a burger or two every day. Like, Sarah, for the love of God, please help us with this burger. This is a great promotion, but this is not healthy for AJ and I.
No.
Let's
and they're
be honest.
too good. Like, they drag you in.
Yeah.
And they were all so unique, you know.
They were. Yeah.
And there's some places where there's one burger split 3 ways, and there's other places where we got there and there was 3 burgers, so we each got a whole burger.
Yeah, the 3 burger, that was a real doozy.
That was a big day.
For breakfast, no less.
Yeah.
That was like an 11 o'clock one. Yeah.
So big thank you to everyone who took part in Burger Week, went out and bought some burgers. Great promotion, great success for all the organizers involved, and of course, proceeds from each burger purchase going to the Yellowknife Food Bank. So very happy to help out the Yellowknife Food Bank and making Burger Week a huge success in Yellowknife. Thank you to you. Thank you to AJ. Thank you to Sarah. Thank you to Ollie. And that will do it for Mornings at the Cabin.
Thanks for listening. Check out more from the show at Cabinradio.ca and by following the Mornings at the Cabin Facebook page.